On this episode of the Best of Bias podcast, you got your boy, episode 201. Hope you guys are here for episode 200 with a spectacular 200 is such a milestone. We got plenty more episodes to go. But this week, we got some sports to talk about, a little bit of pop culture to talk about, and a little bit of cinema according to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Not too much today, but it's an episode of the Best of Bias podcast. It can make your whole day. Or, hey, spend the time talking about, hey, Nay, how do you play? I don't know. That was kind of corny, but hey, we here. It's the Best of Bias podcast. Let's talk about some shit. We got the NCAA tournament, March Madness time. NBA is about to hit the playoffs. Couple games left, like 15, 14 games left. And we also got some crazy stuff happening in pop culture. I don't know if you guys seen the documentary on Mac that just came out called Quiet on the Set. Crazy. Bunch of stuff to talk about. We'll get into all that. Is Forbats AI? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Much more to talk about. We'll get all into it. Where that theme song at is the Best of Bias podcast. It's Lydell Dinero, and it's Friday. We made it to the weekend. Where that theme song at? Yeah. It's the best of bias. You need the earful. You should try us. From pop culture to the movies to unite us. It's the best of bias. The best of bias. Yeah. It's the best of bias. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. It's time for another episode of the Best of Bias podcast. I'm pointing at you out there, everybody watching on YouTube. If you're an audio listener, I'm sorry, but I'm pointing at you too in spirit. You know what I mean? It's time for another Best of Bias podcast where I like to bring everything to the table, whether it be, mostly pop culture topics. We got sports, we got movies, anime, comics, whatever, history, whatever you want to talk about, whatever your bias is, bring it to the table. We're going to talk about it, the best of it. We're going to debate it out. You know what I'm saying? It's the Best of Bias podcast. Your host, Lydell Dinero. People that be here all the time, welcome back, family. To all the new people, welcome in. You could be anywhere in the world, I like to say, but you clicked on this podcast today, and I appreciate that, welcome. You know what I'm saying? The family here, we come to kick it. It's a podcast where I usually have guests on. Most of the time, it's me talking myself, talking, random pop culture topics from the last couple of weeks. I like to mix everything in, check out what I just said a couple of minutes ago. And that's what we'll be talking about. But without further ado, let's get right into it because I know you got something y'all want to do on this beautiful Friday. I'm actually watching the Nuggets game, while podcasting and be a multitasker because, we get into the guts of the season. You know what I'm saying? Almost playoff time, almost April. So it's time to see what we actually got. And, we doing really good out the All-Star break. But I'll get into that in a little bit. Let's start off by let's saying, hey, I got the guys together, man. You heard about it. You seen it. You seen the video on Instagram by now. You heard me talking about it, all the bachelor party fun we had last week in the opening. I'm getting the guys together, man. They wanted to come on. I'm really excited. I'm really encouraged by their willingness to participate in the podcast. I've been waiting so long. It's a little tear could come out of my eye right now because, man, we're going to talk and let's reminisce about what happened. This is probably the first time a guy's trip has ever been put on a podcast. You know what I'm saying? So it could be interesting. I'm excited to see what they got to bring. But it's more so just to kind of not reconcile, but just kind of bring back some of that memory that we may have had, some of the stuff we may have forgotten about, some stuff we may learn for the first time, just some funny moments that we want to bring and talk to the Best of Bias family about, I guess the people that are willing to do so. And don't worry, it's a safe space. We're not going to divulge too much information. We're just going, because nothing, no harm. If you've seen that meme on Instagram, you know about guys trips. We just go out there, there's nothing really planned, and we just fall into stuff, having fun, just talking, reminiscing, drinking, gambling. You know how it goes in Vegas. It's just some chill stories that we're gonna get into. And I want you to meet a lot of the guys though. From the group chat, I talk about it all the time, how they'd be scared to get on the pod. So this is a cool situation for them to actually want to get on there and talk because everybody had a blast. Some more than others. Some people slept a lot. Some people ate a lot. Some people, got too crazy and had to be escorted out of the club sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You get sleepy time sometimes. You feel me? So a lot of stories coming up. So I hope you guys are here from that for that. That should be the next episode. I don't know, man. I'm trying to get either that episode or the tournament with AKA. One of those should come first. But you know what I'm saying? People do got busy schedules. They can't, I work from home, so they can't just, turn around and just scoot over to the office and just go ahead and pop out a podcast and be available for like me. But you know what I'm saying? we'll get him on there, slowly talk him into it. I hope you guys been watching the Twitch stream as well. If you guys, a lot of the homies have been on that as well. So if you guys want to slowly get to know them before you actually put a name to a face or a voice to a face in this instance, go ahead and listen to the stream and you can get to know the guys a little bit in our gaming sphere. If you guys like to watch gaming and stuff, I need to get on there a little bit more and talk to y'all. But anyways, all that aside, enough talk about the future, enough talking about what's going on with further episodes. We're talking about right now. What are we talking about right now? What are we talking about, Pat? What are we talking about, Lydell? I'm gonna tell you, listen up. Hey, we're starting with March Madness, man. The big tournament, NCAA champion is going to be crowned for men's and women's in college basketball. Personally, I have more interest on the women's side this year. Me personally, I'm hella happy that Oregon's in it. Actually won our first round matchup against South Carolina. We came in as the 11th seed, winning the Pac-12 tournament. A team that wasn't supposed to make it, only 8 healthy players, like 8 scholarship players, all injured for the season and aren't able to make the tournament or play in the Pac-12 championship tournament or game. So it's just kind of crazy to see us make it to where we are now, fighting, man. And Folly Dante in his senior year, it's like his 5th year at Oregon, been injured throughout his whole season or his whole career there at Oregon. And to see him be able to, give it all he's got, win the last Pac-12 tournament because, the Pac-12 is dissolving, and being able to hoist that trophy for the last time, show that all his work is for something, show his dominance in the Pac-12 championship game. I think he went 14 for 14, didn't miss a shot. Led, Oregon past a Colorado team that was supposed to be an easy win after Arizona lost. They're supposed to be an easy win to win the Pac-12 championship and be an easy bid into the tournament, but they actually had to play a play-in game basically against, I think it was, who was it against? I forgot. So it was Boise State, I believe, and they won that game to get in, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. We, like I said, Oregon did get 11 seed and matched up against the 6 seeded South Carolina Gamecocks, and Oregon today at 1 o'clock they held it down. They actually won 87-73. Shout out to Kuznard, 40 points, 4 assists and 6 rebounds, and Folly Dante, of course, with 23 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. And 2 blocks and 2 steals. He was just getting off and holding it down for a team. Again, we have 8 players. So to see us actually try to make a run. We have Creighton now, the 3 seed Creighton, in the next round to see if we can advance in March Madness. Either way, I feel like our team overachieved and made it somewhere nobody expected us to be. And I'm really looking into that, man. This year, I don't really know many players in the March Madness tournament for the men's, as many as I do for the women's tournament. It's just that men's basketball is a little weird. You know how it's different in college football than it is to college basketball. College football, you have to play 3 years. In college basketball, you only have to play 1. And a lot of players, I think starting last year, I think probably closer to the COVID years as well, a lot of players just wanted to start skipping college altogether and going straight to the G League and trying to, earn their stripes there and then get drafted from the G League. The Jalen Green, Scoot Henderson wave, all those guys came out of that way. But college right now, it's just more so the people that are getting drafted and the more so the people that are winning national championships are the teams that have 3-4 year guys that have been there for a while, are kind of mature and able to win national championships, but they're not the guys that are coming out of college and being, the number 1 draft picks, or the guys that are that everybody's looking at, because obviously it's like a thing in basketball, especially college basketball, high school. If you're good, you're playing only 1 year, if that, in college anyways. They stopped it from players coming straight out of high school after LeBron, I believe it was soon after LeBron. I could be wrong though, but it's been a while. But players doing 1 year in school, even going to a school that then, not even going to get in the tournament, do well in the tournament so they can get that notoriety that it's one and dones, and then just automatically get drafted into the NBA. And then they're supposed to be, people that are supposed to be changers for these other teams that nobody really knows about. So I don't know what's really going on in NCAA men's basketball. But for the women's side, though, the 1 seeds are crazy and everybody knows about them. South Carolina, Iowa, Texas, USC. They have so many stars on each team that we've been hearing about all year that are actually balling, with the likes of Caitlin Clark, Juju Watkins, Angel Reese, Malaysia, Wiley, excuse me. And to not to miss others, there's a girl at Stanford that's really good too, hometown Stanford. It's doing really well, and I'm really excited to see what goes down because I know South Carolina got a whole bunch of girls on the team that are raw. It's full of, and you already know LSU with Flagene and all of them on the team. They got a raw squad as well. USC, I can't wait. Juju Watkins is one of my favorite not W. I always say WNBA play, but W. How do you NCAA women's basketball players? I don't know. It's hell a long way of saying it. I wish there's a shorter way to saying it, but Juju out of USC is one of my favorites to watch, especially coming out of the Pac-12, being the last year of the Pac-12. How she's able to go out there and she's being talked about. I mean, though, Caitlin Clark is her. Caitlin Clark is Caitlin Clark, but being mentioned as a close second is crazy as a freshman. You know what I mean? She's a freshman. Caitlin Clark's like a junior, maybe a senior now. I think she might be a junior. So just for her to be like named as a player that's doing stuff that Caitlin Clark is doing as a freshman, it's just kind of nuts to see. So it's gonna be interesting to see who's gonna win the tournament. I do have my predictions for that side because I'm gonna predict Oregon all day for the men's side, but for the women's side, oof in the championship, I knew I want to see South Carolina versus USC. But Iowa is on the I think Iowa is on the USC side, and they could lose to LSU before they actually see. And I think SC South Carolina and Iowa were on the same side of the bracket, but I think LSU is on that side of the bracket with Iowa. So I mean Iowa could lose to LSU, and you'll see LSU versus South Carolina, and then was it that? No, I think it's the other way around. USC, I think it's going to be playing against LSU, and I think Stanford's going to be able to play and maybe beat South Carolina. Whatever it is, though, I just feel like I want Juju Watkins and USC to come down and just kind of just take it underdogs, upset Caitlin, upset LSU, upset everybody that's in the way. You know what I'm saying? I should be going for Stanford because that's the real life next to Oregon, the hometown team, but Juju's raw, man, and I feel like she does get a lot of credit. She's really heralded, and everybody talks. She's getting awards, accolades, being one of the top freshmen ever at USC. But man, she's stupid nice, and I can't wait. Last year, I really got into the WNBA. I'm really excited for this season. San Francisco's getting that expansion team as well. So, man, it's just going up and up and up from there. You know how I feel about Sabrina, you know what I mean? And behind Sabrina, I think Juju Watkins is about to be my second favorite player. I know Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and all of them are nasty. They're coming in with little attitudes and bags of their own. You know what I'm saying? They're going to bring a lot to the WNBA as well. But man, Juju and Malaysia, man, she got that handle, man. It's little Kyrie is kind of wild to see. So, man, shouts out them. I know the women's side's probably going to be all over the media that the women's side's got so many more views and so many more eyes on their tournament than the men's. But shout out to Oregon, man. Already upsetting people, upsetting the Gamecocks. Kentucky lost to Oakland. I think it's 80-76. So it's upsets already. That's why I never really do these brackets because, man, right after you put them in, they're gonna get busted. That 1 o'clock that afternoon, somebody's gonna win that you didn't expect to win because they have mature players that have been there 3 years, and you have these super teams that are supposed to do one and dones that are supposed to go and win the national championship just off of GP and all. It never really works. But shouts out to everybody watching March Madness. Shouts out to everybody putting bets in out there. Yeah, it should be a good tournament. It should be cool. Let's see. NBA check-in. Again, I'm watching the Nuggets game right now, man. What is it? 14-2 coming out of All-Star break. I've been telling you guys how well we've been doing. The last couple of games we have lost have been close, man. We lost a buzzer beater to Kyrie off that left-hand scoop hook shot. You guys seen that one. And we lost to freaking shoot. Put Jokic back in the game, please. Anyways, we lost to the Suns and Kevin Durant in overtime after we were down by 22, came back, tied it up in overtime or in the fourth quarter. And then Kevin Durant just kind of went off in overtime and just took it to us. And then the other game we lost was to that Kyrie Irving hook shot. You know what I'm saying? If we don't lose those two games, we'd be 16-0 right now. So for Jokic to be doing what he's doing, possibly winning his third MVP, should be 4 in a row. I want Jamal Murray to do a little bit better, be a little more consistent. But I'm happy that he's healthy. You know what I'm saying? The shots will drop over time. MPJ is starting to have a consistency that's unreal right now. He's averaged, I think, over 20 points since All-Star break, and that's a good almost 16 games. So that's a good thing to see. Aaron Gordon is being a dog, using his body. getting position and doing the little things to get into the dunker spot, doing the things that he's supposed to do. Just a little bit more consistency, a little bit more effort. Me personally, I don't know if they're really looking for the number one spot. I know they want home court advantage throughout the playoffs, but it's all about matchups in the playoffs. And I don't know, man, looking at the 8 and 7 seeds, they could be somebody that you don't really want to play as far as the Lakers or Warriors. But even though we've actually been beating them a lot lately, me from my heart, I really don't want to have to play them first round. But it's nobody really in the West that I do really want to see. Pelicans, not really want to play them. Phoenix Suns, don't really want to play them. Dallas, you can see what they two best players can do on some weird shit. So I don't know. I don't know exactly who I want to play in the playoffs yet, but I just want to get there, win some games, have our bench play consistent, have Jamal Murray get back into a consistent flow, have MPJ carry the streak he's going into the playoffs. Jokic stay healthy and just be who he is. Play the game he's playing. Get this another MVP if they want to give it to him. If not, just we don't need that. We'll just go in the playoffs quietly without it and just try to win a championship. That's what I see. Again, East check-in. Celtics is doing their thing. Close behind them, you have the Bucks, but Giannis has been in and out a lot. It's been mostly Dame having to hold it down, and Chris Middleton is actually back now too. The wily veteran that could actually help Dame Lillard, and he doesn't have to do everything by himself. You know what I'm saying? He was the original guy that teamed up with Giannis and held it down for Milwaukee from the beginning. So with him back, takes a lot of pressure off of Dame. I like that for them. Again, I don't know what's going on in New York. New York is playing well. Like they're playing us right now, 90 to 88 in the fourth quarter, 8 minutes left. But Randall and OG Anunoby are really in and out of the lineup. Randall's been hurt for a while, but OG Anunoby came back for a while, then he's sitting again. So maybe they're resting them for the playoffs and just know that they're not going to get below like the 4 seed, and they're able to do what they need to do to hold it down and follow through towards the end of the season. But hope everything falls in line for them. You don't want to see people injured throughout the playoffs, especially working hard all season to maintain a top seed and just get to the playoffs and just fold due to injury, especially, it looked bad for Embiid already. We don't know if Embiid's going to come back during the playoffs or, before the playoffs, who knows? But we want to see everybody healthy because the season's long and working hard through the season, just getting hurt in the playoffs or towards the playoffs, it just sucks for that to happen. And Anthony Edwards, I can't pass without talking about him, man. He's just been the human highlight reel the last couple of weeks. Well, man, the dunk was tight, man. I'm not gonna be a hater about it. He threw the ball in the hoop, though, man. It wasn't a dunk. It was like a spike. I'll give it a spike. And him throwing the ball into the hoop like that, I guess it's like a dunk motion, I guess. So it's like, I guess you could call it a dunk, but by definition, but it wasn't a dunk. People saying the dunk of the century, bro. You actually have to grab the rim for it to be a dunk of the century. But man, I'm no hate. I really like the guy. I wish he wasn't on the Timberwolves with Karl-Anthony Towns or Rudy Gobert. That makes me hate everything about the team. But him personally, I root for him kinda whenever it's appropriate. You know what I mean? Maybe if they're playing OKC or somebody that's high in the standings that we need them to beat to send them back a little bit behind us. But man, I like the guy a lot. I just wish he wasn't in our division. I wish he wasn't a rival of ours and somebody that, that we beat a lot, that's going to put a little spite in his mind and want to just take it to us every time he plays us, man. He has that Jordan mentality. People say he looks like Michael Jordan. He might be his long lost son, but man, the shit that he does nightly is just kind of crazy, man. Him and Ja Morant, when they're both playing at the same time, I don't know who's going to get more highlights. You know what I'm saying? And once Zion actually starts playing better, because he is playing a lot better now. He sold me today on Prize Picks, but he's playing a lot better and he's actually getting in games and making an impact, man. Ingram fell off a lot. I don't know what happened to Ingram as far as his participation in the team, like people taking tacos and stuff on him, Prize Picks. He's scoring 14 points, bro. Come on, get it up, man. With Zion coming back, if he could be a full strength, McCollum could be a full strength. They have Valanciunas. Like, they should be a dangerous team. That's one team I really don't want to play in the playoffs is them, because the weapons they have, if they playing at full strength and actually doing what they're supposed to do, it could be dangerous. But shouts out to Anthony Edwards. He's young, 22 years old. He has no filter. That's probably what everybody likes about him. He's so relatable, young, fun, and he just enjoys basketball, man. He makes basketball look fun every time he goes out there and plays. So shouts out to him. NFL updates, not really much. I mean, Odell's visiting Miami. Eric Armstead signed with the Jaguars. Chase Young to the Saints. Devin White went to the Eagles, started talking shit about us. It's sad to see, man. It really is sad to see. I mean, really excited for the draft now. The Nuggets did sign a bunch of people, a bunch of pieces that we needed, like backup people. Jordan Whitehead, though, is going to start. I love that signing. Love to have him back. But the lineman, I guess the lineman that we got from the Giants is starting caliber. Then we got another guard from the Eagles that was a backup. He didn't really get on the field that much, but he played a good backup role who can play guard as well. I don't know what we're going to do at Hansy, but I'm just hoping that we either get that center guard from Duke. We either grab that. Of course, I want Oregon's Powers Johnson at center for our first round pick for sure. But if he's not around, the Connecticut dude, I don't really know his name. I don't really know the guy's name from Duke either, but I need Jackson Powers Johnson because I don't know who else I would want. He just fits the spot of Ryan Jensen. He replaces him perfectly. Cowboys are just losing players. 49ers are losing players. But we'll see, man. Those are the teams that got a bunch of money and they do well in free agency. They do well in the draft. So maybe they'll build through there and just draft people that are instant hits that can replace the people they lost in free agency. But Tyron Smith walking is crazy. A lot of the defensive linemen walking for the 49ers is crazy. The offensive pieces that are leaving for certain teams is crazy. Like everybody's gone from the Chargers. Everybody's gone well, the Panthers are getting new people pretty much. The Bears got a whole bunch of new people. Keenan Allen, Dante Moore, DeAndre Swift. So it's a lot of shifting around. Jameis Winston going to the Browns, man. Shout out to Jameis Winston. I hope he stays in the league as long as possible. I'm just happy he's out of the Saints, so I can actually root for him now. But the NFL is going a little crazy now. It's getting quiet until the draft. Pro days and stuff are going on. The Caleb talk is at an all-time high. But shouts out to all the Oregon players getting ready. The draft should be fun, man. Should be cool. Staying with sports, but this is getting it's a little crazy. Everybody knows about Shohei Otani signing that big mega deal to the LA Dodgers this summer. It was a wild contract for basically a big ass contract, but basically they paid him no money this year. It was all like backloaded, and all the money he was going to get is like at the 10th year, like I don't know, starting year 10 or some I don't know, starting some weird year in the contract where he can like get the most money, the most value of his money at that certain time, but. Now there's some shit going on with his interpreter because he's Japanese and he uses an interpreter. Supposedly his interpreter ran up a super huge tab with some bookie in California and he got in trouble for that, man. Firstly, you're not really supposed to be gambling as a professional athlete, but I guess they do give you some leeway if you're a professional athlete as long as you don't bet on your sport, you're good. At least that's for baseball anyway. As long as you don't bet on baseball, you're straight and you can do it. But supposedly he not only, I guess they said he didn't bet on baseball, but he did it with an illegal bookie, even though betting is legal in California. So it's just kind of weird. His name is, what's his name? Ipai Masuhara. Yeah, man, if you know Shohei Otani, if you're a Dodgers fan, you probably see this guy a lot. Obviously, he's Shohei's interpreter, trusted confidant. And it just seems a little fishy, man. People are saying like, oh, it's a coincidence. It was this guy. This guy was just gambling, going and he just ran up a debt. He's a gambler, blah, blah, blah. But it just seems fishy for Shohei to give him $4.5 million to supposedly clear that debt. But then people are saying again, changing the story and just saying that the money was stolen from Shohei, which got him fired because the interpreter was stealing from him. It just seems weird. You know what I'm saying? It just seems really weird. It seems like Shohei got caught up with a bookie. He had all this money and was gambling and got caught up and kind of used the interpreter as a fall guy. And you say like that, hey, you sound like a hater. It's not even that deep. But hey, man, I'm telling you right now, I don't care. And you may say it's not that deep, and I agree. I'm a Braves fan. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, I feel like our roster, how we getting down right now, our nine can take any nine, you know what I'm saying? And that's not being facetious, you know what I'm saying? We can do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm not really too you know what I'm saying, too upset about these Dodger pickups. And you know what I'm saying? I don't want no excuses because we're gonna see them in the playoffs like we always do. It's always, you know, already know what it is in the NL. It's Dodgers and it's Braves. So it's gonna get down to what it's gonna be ultimately. You know, these Phillies is always trying to puff their chest out and make little moves and talk this and talk that and trying to put a little monkey wrench in the plan, but it's not like that, bro. You already know it's a crash course for Braves and Dodgers, and I want them at full strength. Leave Shohei alone because I know y'all ain't gonna do shit anyways. There's too much money out there in LA that he's bringing to y'all team, too much money that he's bringing to the squad for y'all to do anything to him. You know what I'm saying? What you go if he go back to Japan and take all his fame and all his money back to Japan, then what? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we just gotta keep it cool, keep it cool. Hold on, somebody out there making a ruckus. But anyways, back to what I was saying. But yeah, it's probably gonna be a little slap on the wrist. I mean, baseball is about to start. Opening day is coming. People don't want to see the Dodgers be the Dodgers, and I mean, I get it. They're throwing this money around, getting super rosters, being able to do whatever they want to do, and it's kind of upsetting to a lot of teams. But again, as a Braves fan, I don't care, man. They want to stack up. We stack too. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna hate, even though we did it a little bit more organically than they did. But you know what I'm saying? It's whatever. We're gonna see who reigns supreme. They have all the haters. You know, the Braves is kind of sitting pretty. We don't have as many haters as the Dodgers do. And the Dodgers make it look so nasty the way they go out there and just pick up everybody, you know what I mean? So yeah, we're gonna see what happens, but I'm sure Shohei ain't gonna we're gonna probably hear more about this story all the way up until opening day. So y'all probably get more information as it comes in. Do I sound like a hater, or you think Shohei was out there really gambling and they used the interpreter as a fall guy? What y'all think? I don't know, but what y'all think? I don't know. And then speaking of that, since we're on the topic of gambling, man, I just hope I don't get too much in the hole. Speaking of my little gambling with my prize picks, man, because I was always told growing up, gambling, stay away from gambling a little because it's super addicting. You could lose money. You could get in the hole with people. If you owe bookies money, they go take your leg, break your arms, hurt your excuse me, just getting a little excited, hurt your family, this, and that. You know what I'm saying? And it could happen. And you go to Vegas, you sit there at tables, you get hella drunk, high rollers rooms, you can lose everything. You out here signing everything away just because you think the next roll, the next flip of the cards is gonna make you rich, man. It gets that hard. I haven't reached that level. Thank the Lord. I don't really have an addictive personality, so I can tell myself to stop and I can just be out of there. But Bruno Mars, man. This rumor, again, I don't know. This is alleged. Alleged. This was pulled by reporters somehow. They got this, like they say it's public knowledge. It just sound kind of weird making how much money celebrities owe a casino public knowledge. I don't know how that's even possible, but it is word out there and it's being reported that Bruno Mars is in the whole $50 million with MGM Grand. They say that he has a little gambling problem and he's there for a residency in Vegas a lot. So he, been gambling in those high roller rooms and lost a lot of money and owes them a lot of money. MGM did come out and say it was a false rumor. Bruno Mars did come out and say it was a false rumor. But yeah, it's wild. It's wild. I don't want to believe it because who lets themselves get $50 million in debt to the point where it's public knowledge for people to know? You know what I'm saying? Even if it was like, okay, they give you a line of credit in the casino, you lose all that money, they give you another line of money or another line of credit because they know you can pay it back type shit. And he just lost $50 million and then they give you a line of credit and he just pays it off type shit. It's not that big of a deal. I don't know how it works. I don't got that much money, but shit, it's weird. I was watching that interview that Nightcap with Shannon Sharp and Chad Ochocinco. He was talking about he's seen Bruno Mars lose $17 million in a high rollers room. I don't know if he said it was him or somebody he knows, but he said he's been heard that he gambles a lot and he's seen him lose a lot of money at once. And Ocho Cinco, he hella cheap, so he was like, "Wow, how could somebody even do that?" That's how I am too. It's like you go to the casino and bet more than $1,000. $1,000 is bewildering to me. So for you to bet anything over that, I would think you're the craziest person on earth. You know what I mean? So I can't believe it. I don't know if I believe it. Bruno Mars again supposedly has a residency at the MGM. He's going to be there from like June to September, doing residencies, and supposedly Bruno Mars makes $90 million a year. So this may just be nothing. Again, people just take stories and run with them, and you know how that shit gets on social media. It's like that game Telephone. Somebody says some shit, somebody says that shit, and just 5 million turns into 15 million, turns into 50 million. It's just wild. Which all ends up being rollout for an album Bruno Mars is about to drop before the residency type shit. So you never know out here, man. But I just thought it was interesting since I was talking about the topic of gambling. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Stamo. What we got next? Oh man. Do I want to do dual cameras for this shit right here? Should I do dual cameras? Yeah. Let me get into it. Let me get into it. Nickelodeon. You Were My Childhood. Let me just all that. Keenan and Kel. What else was there? There was a bunch of shows on Nickelodeon. I grew up. Guts, Legends of the Hidden Temple, all that stuff around that time. I loved it. The jokes that you guys had on those shows were so hilarious to me. HBO Max dropped this documentary about y'all. Yeah, I don't know if we can be cool no more. The cartoon, the animated side of it, Kenan and Kel, I think I draw the line right there. Everything else, that shit's weird. Dan Snyder, let me get into it. So, documentary on HBO Max is called Quiet on the Set, bro. It's spoiler alert, if you are stuck in the nostalgia and you love nostalgia, you love Nickelodeon, that was a good time of life in the 90s, don't watch it because it's about to ruin it all. This documentary is about, just some sexual predators that are actually behind the scene of all your favorite shows on Nickelodeon, and they were just able to keep producing, keep creating child stars, grooming child stars, and sexually abusing them. It's wild. I know. Why go morbid? Why go there at a time like this when you're just having so much good information just shot into you? You know what I'm saying? Pause. I don't know why I said it like that, especially in this situation. But yeah, I don't know why I go so morbid, but this shit was wild. I wasn't expecting it, man. I expected to hear some, maybe some mishandling of the kids, made them work overtime, work violations type shit. But no. Dan Snyder, it's crazy because if you see Dan Snyder, you know exactly who he is. I think he's a store owner on Good Burger. That's how I recognize him. He's a store owner in Good Burger One. He's about to lose the restaurant, and Keenan and Kel start working there to try to make the restaurant money. But anyways, this fool groomed Amanda Bynes, groomed a lot of these little kids that used to be on your favorite Nickelodeon shows, All That, Amanda Show, iCarly, all these shows. He made little girls, little kids do all these sexually explicit jokes in front of their parents' faces. They had sexual predators work for the staff that would try to have sex with the kids, proposition the kids. And in the situation of Josh Bell from Drake and Josh, he was sexually abused for many years by one of the people, the voice coaches on the show. And nobody did anything. The producers that he trusted as a kid to help him become a child star just sat back and let his so-called employee friend just abused this kid, and people stood by and let him do it. And then when Josh Bell was actually, I don't want to ruin it all for you, but once he gets mature enough and mentally able enough to go take him to court and face him, there's a bunch of celebrities taking this voice coach's side, saying that you're supporting him. Letters of what's that thing called when you write the judge letters saying that the person that's getting convicted is actually a good guy, so you should take the sentence a little light on them, bro. It was crazy. You have to check it out. HBO Max. It's 4 episodes long, 4-part doc, and you just learn so much about stuff that you thought was just the pure nostalgia, your favorite part of childhood, growing up in the 90s, early 90s, 1991 through, I guess it was 2017. If you enjoy Nickelodeon at any of those points in time, just know there's some cryptic, crazy shit that went on behind the scenes, and you understand why child stars are the way they are now. If you go check out the documentary and just see what they have to go through, you see each individual kind of say what they dealt with after leaving the show, alcoholism, being isolated, trouble with their parents, like not being able to trust people for the rest of their lives just because of shit that happened to them when they're 8, 9, 10 years old on a quest to be child stars and provide for their families and put their family in position to be great and be happy and just get out of the hood and just they just dealt with so much, man, behind the scenes that you would never know. And I'm happy that it's being exposed now because there was always a question like, how do these stars turn out so crazy and so different mentally after the fact when they were so up when they were children and so popular and so, in this documentary will tell you exactly why. So check it out. It's called Quiet on the Set. It's on HBO Max, 4-part series. Check it out for real, for real. It is really crazy, man. But again, if you are really used to Nickelodeon, and it's gonna ruin your childhood, though. It may ruin your childhood. Some of the stuff you may know, you may heard about if you're mature enough to be around during that time. But it gets wild. It's wild. What do we have next? Let's get into some music talk, lighten it up a little bit. And again, Keenan and Kel didn't report anything about being like touched or anything like that. I guess it was just more so the younger kids. They just like the young kids, man. It was crazy. This guy named, let me get these perverts names out here before I move on. I can give them no grace. Jason Handy, pervert ass motherfucker. Brian Peck, pervert ass motherfucker. 11 charges of sexual abuse against Drake Bell. 11 charges, sodomy. It's like a whole bunch of, he was 15 years old, bro. 15. It was crazy. This guy would get hand portraits sent to him by John Wayne Gacy. You know who John Wayne Gacy is, that crazy ass motherfucker that had a whole bunch of dead people in his house. He used to paint himself as a clown. Would send this guy, this sexual predator that was working on all that, working on iCarly, hand painted portraits like he was his best friend. And then you had that dude, Jason Handy, collecting panties and having a whole bunch of child pornography all over the place while he was like a mentor to these young children. And it was just nuts, man. I couldn't even imagine, bro. I just thank the Lord for my parents not putting me in those situations. Though, you mean these stars do get to make some money. They do get to be super popular, and there is some stuff that comes with the fame, but shit, the way a lot of these stars, majority of these stars turn out afterwards, I don't think I wouldn't want to sacrifice my childhood or be a star so early if the end goal ends up being Amanda Bynes, ends up being Miley Cyrus for a little bit. She kind of found her way out and she's in a better spot now. But if you think about any child star, they're not in the greatest of positions, like any of them. You know what I mean? I don't really remember one. I can't really think of one that I would say like just made it out and is just an amazing person now. Maybe Hayden Christensen. I don't know. I don't know. Jake Paul. He's a little wild himself, so I don't know. But yeah, Amanda Bynes, Ariana Grande, Jamie Lynn Spears were all victims to Dan Schneider, Jason Handy, Brian Peck, these fucking weirdos that were just behind the scenes, and these businesses didn't care. Just as long as they gave them hit shows and made them money, they just let them abuse these kids. And it's crazy. It's crazy. And it's in the time that they're getting for these crimes. Like Josh Peck for sodomizing and doing all that shit to Brian Peck, excuse me, doing all that shit to Drake Bell. He got like 16 months in jail. Like, and was let out. Like, and you have to walk around on Earth with the same planet as these people that just abused you. Like, I don't know. These people deserve. I don't want to put nothing evil into the world, but those are the worst crimes that are ever. Like, sexually abusing against their will, the R word against kids. Like, these people deserve to be beat up in jail. They don't deserve to be out of jail. They should be under the jail. It's crazy. No, I mean, no violence or nothing like that against nobody, but it's like, bro, come on. It's heinous, and you guys are getting them a slap on the wrist. People go to jail more for weed than fucking abusing and sodomizing kids, sodomizing children. Let's just get. Do you understand what's going on here? Like, bro, he does not deserve to be out of jail. He deserves to be beat up forever. One punch in the rib each hour of each day. I don't know. Something weird. Sorry. Again, I don't condone violence. It's just that shit just kind of irks me. Kind of hit me. Kind of hit me deep. But again, let's get off that. Let's get off. Let's talk about something lighter. J. Cole album coming soon. The Fall Off, I think it's called, man. He's been hitting us with these little light jabs here and there, letting us know a little something about what's coming. These flows have been great, man. They're called like vlogs that he might delete type shit. I don't know exactly what the song names are, but if these are a hint of what's gonna be on the album, bro, I don't know. I gotta rethink this top three thing, bro, because you know who the top three are in hip hop mostly. You got the Drakes, you got the Kendricks, you got the J. Cole. Those are the top three guys in hip hop right now. And the order can be mixed around. You can say it's one guy, you can say it's another guy, you can say it's whoever you want it to be, but I don't know. Is J. Cole's applying that pressure, bro? I feel like Drake, he can rap. You know what he can do. He can go up against anybody and hold his own against anybody. You know what his pen game is like. But he just seems like he more so with J. Cole, and even Kendrick Lamar most of the time. Maybe even throwing some jabs at Kendrick, but he wants to be buddy buddy with J. Cole. He don't want that smoke as a competition. So I think weeding out who's in the top three is gonna be kind of tough. I mean, sometimes you got to take it the fuck it approach, like Kendrick Lamar. I heard somebody, I think it was Ish, no, it was Ice on the Joe Budden podcast. I put them three in the category. You put J. Cole as the best rapper. You got Drake as the best artist, the overall biggest artist, and then you got no, wait. You got Drake as the biggest star, and then you have Kendrick Lamar as the artist. You know what I'm saying? So they're all great in their own right. J. Cole can go out there, take anybody's beat, get on anybody's feature, and just kill them on their feature. And just any song he makes, he can make any type of song sound great. Drake, he usually goes out there and he's able to make any kind of song sound kind of, vibey. He goes and changes his style to mimic other people's styles and makes great songs out of that kind of stuff. And then Kendrick goes out there and puts out something obscure that you've never seen before, that you listen to. Is like, oh shit, this is that shit, and I didn't know I would like this, but this is some crazy shit. And he's giving you bars. They're all giving you bars, but it's like fuck. And it's all, it's just so hard. But man, the way that J. Cole is coming out right now, giving you what you want to hear, not afraid to say I'm the best, saying if you want it, come get it. And we're gonna see if they actually do come get it. I don't think Drake wants to come get it, pause, because he's on a tour with him right now. They're making money together. I don't think he'll ever actually go toe to toe. But Kendrick don't give a fuck. He'll go toe to toe and he can rap, bro, and he ain't gonna be scared of nobody. So, and I know the Drake and Kendrick thing could pop off as them dissing each other and them going at it. But I know J. Cole wants to get his foot in the door and let people know what's up. So, man, the album is gonna come soon. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes out tonight or next week. In the next couple of weeks, there's a bunch of albums, a bunch of music coming out for the summertime. Last year's hip hop wasn't really good. I think the album of the year, Lil Uzi won. So this year, there's a lot of pressure that needs to be applied. A lot of people that can go out there and win, get the throne for album of the year, best rap album of the year. You saw Killer Mike go out there and win some shit, and put it down for the more so underground, not really underground, because he's, everybody knows Killer Mike. He's more so a mainstream artist, but just for the fact that, artists like him don't necessarily win those awards that often. So this year, people are trying to apply pressure, and I'm interested to see what J. Cole is going to do. I know tonight Future and Metro Boomin are going to put out some stuff, so I know some club anthems are going to come out for the dudes, not necessarily for the dudes, but you know what I mean. The ladies got all the songs out right now. Cardi B applying pressure, Sexy Red throwing out all these all the city girl music. You know what I'm saying? We need some anthems for the guys to go out and just kind of like vibe to as well. All the girls got all the songs, but I'm not jealous of them songs because you can have those songs for sure. But you know what I'm saying? You know what Future do when he do his thing. He got the stripper music, he got the party music, he got no matter what kind of song it is, he got the right vibes for it. And he be coming out with like 22, especially him and Metro Boomin, have like 22 songs on there, hella features. So I'm excited to see that. April 5th, my boy Bryson Tiller coming back with his album. I forgot exactly what it's called. Damn, I should have wrote down the goddamn album's name at least. But he's coming back with some shit. It's supposed to be like 3 years worth of work that he's been doing. He's been holding it down with these Tiller Tuesdays on SoundCloud. So I've heard a lot of good music. Whatever She Wants started on those Tiller Tuesdays, and it blew up so much that he had to put it out on iMusic, Apple Music, and Spotify and all that. So if the music is anything like that or anything like he previewed on Tiller Tuesdays, I'm excited to see that. And I know the girlies is gonna love that as well. Partynextdoor dropped the EP called Real Woman. The new song was Real Woman. I think two of the songs on there were like re-releases from some other shit because I definitely heard him before. But he's supposed to be dropping a part 2 to that, so we'll definitely have that music out. So we'll have the music out to get him out there shaking a little something. Nuggets won 100 to 113. You know what I'm saying? You know how he's getting it, boy. Hopefully on my bet tip, but I'll get there soon. But yeah, Future and Metro Boomin's album is gonna be called We Don't Trust You. Beyonce is supposed to be coming out with her country album, supposed to be coming out soon. Vultures 2 is supposed to be dropping soon, I think around the same time as Bryson Tiller. So we're gonna have a lot of music for the summer again. Hip hop, R&B, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of awards, a lot of talented artists that need to come out and actually just go ahead and take the throne back. We've been seeing a lot of artists out there that have been putting out some bullshit, and a lot of R&B, ladies been doing their thing. SZA, Summer Walker, all of them out there. Excuse me, they doing a thing. But hip hop wise, man, again, last year's album of the year was crazy. Killer Mike and them won this year, but that just opens up the door for artistry. All these big artists that have their own lane, all their own vibes, man. The people, the critics, the people, the Grammy people are giving that award out to people that have good works of art now. We're moving away from the bullshit that we had the last couple of years. Hopefully this year, the Academy, I don't know if it's called the Academy, that's what it's called for the Oscars, but you know what I'm saying? Let's get it going, man. I'm excited to see that. 9 o'clock tonight. I'm recording this on Thursday, so when you listen to this on Friday, you probably got a whole bunch of music in your phone right now. Go click and go listen to that shit. Moving on to Cinema Corner, I'm just excited to say Venom 3 actually got a title coming out October 25th of 24. It's called The Last Dance, man. I'm just hoping that Venom can find its way over into the MCU. We cannot waste this character on Sony. because first of all, he's too tied to Spider-Man. And if you're gonna give the rights to Spider-Man to the MCU, might as well give the rights to Venom as well. If you're gonna hold on for dear life to Spider-Man and try to bring him into your Sony universe and make this whole street level shit go down, I don't know if that's going down in the MCU or the Sony universe. Because I know they're trying to do the villains, Six, excuse me, in the Sony side, but I don't know what they're doing. But do not phase out Venom. I know you can probably replace Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy's a great actor. And for this movie not to be as big as something that the MCU does with Tom Hardy as an actor in this movie is just kind of nuts to me, first and foremost. You can't waste Venom as a character. Me, I'm a personal big fan of anti-heroes. You do have heroes that are on the up and do the right thing all the time, blah, blah, blah. But you do want to have these key heroes that actually may take a life for somebody that's been too bad. You know what I'm saying? Actually cross the lines that these heroes can't take and just kind of like there's a gray area. He's not all the way bad. He's not all the way good. He's bad sometimes, but when he is bad, he's doing things that aren't too bad. You know what I'm saying? He probably kills a drug dealer or he steals from a drug dealer. Drug dealers try to get their money back. He kills them. Shout out to all my drug dealers out there. No beef. I'm just saying, like, anti-heroes in these comic books and stuff, they don't really they take lives and they kill people and they're not all good. That's the reason why they're not all good. When it comes to the heroes and fighting the heroes, they probably fight them to a standstill. They'll do heroly duties at times, but all in all, they're not a hero. They're not hamstrung by the hero's code or duty. You know what I'm saying? Not to get too nerdy on y'all, but the Lobos, the Venoms of the world. I'm looking at my pops over here. Who do I got? I like Hella, even though Hella's a bad guy, but they're trying to change her into a good guy. Who else? Who else do I got? Deadpool is always good, but he's definitely an anti-hero. I know Blade's not an anti-hero, but he's kind of like one of the guys that kind of go against the grain. But I'm excited to see what they do with Venom Last Dance. Hopefully it's not too corny. Hopefully they make it serious, and hopefully the end credit scenes is him just merging over into the MCU because the MCU needs everything they can get, especially leading up into this new Avengers movie. And maybe he'll even be in Deadpool. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Everybody else is gonna be in Deadpool. What do we got next? X-Men 97. Oh my God. If you guys didn't watch it, it came out March 20th. So I think that was today's 21st. So it was Wednesday. First two episodes of X-Men 97. How'd y'all feel about that, y'all? I liked it. I didn't give y'all a chance to answer. I'm sorry. I just answered right away, but I liked it a lot, man. The art upgrade was definitely a plus. I enjoyed the theme song being the same entry for each character. I like the implication of Morph and Bishop, but I'm gonna kind of get tired of Morph if he ain't got his own shit that he can do. If his signature shit is gonna be turned into other X-Men that are not in the actual cartoon, but just turning into that fucking character to use their power in that moment, that'd be kind of lame. Though one of my powers I would like to have if I was to have a superpower would be you can change into anybody that got powers and use their power. That is kind of dope to have. That is a dope power to have. But you know what I'm saying? When you have a show with an ensemble of characters, you want to see them all do their own thing, them all be badass. So it seems like every time we see Morph, we're just gonna see him do something lame, or turn into a different character, and just yeah. But anyways, it was really deep. I like the drama. I like the violence they're able to show. I think I did see some people get killed. I did see some kissing, some sexually explicit stuff, though I'm not really like, oh yeah, let's see cartoons kiss. I'm not a pervert like that. But it was interesting to see that level of maturity on a X-Men cartoon. So it's kind of setting the scale of what it's going to be. The topics are really deep. Magneto, spoiler alert, Magneto being the Charles Xavier of this cartoon is pretty dope. This season is pretty dope. Charles Xavier actually died, got shot, assassinated. So Magneto is the leader of the X-Men. We see Jean Grey and Cyclops have a baby in the first episode. We see Storm lose her powers in the second episode. So there's a lot of kind of social cues in this. We see a lot of juxtaposition with the social stuff that's going on today. They always kind of do that with the mutants and the humans and kind of just use social topics and kind of throw it in there as humans against mutants, but it's kind of like referring to times that are happening right now. So I like that they're doing that with the cartoon. I like the fact that Magneto made a promise to Charles that he's going to be good, and we're gonna see how that's going to be with the leading of Magneto of the X-Men. I like Wolverine's portrayal. I think a lot of the voice actors are the same as the older cartoon back in the '90s, so that's cool as well. I'm really enjoying it, man. I wish there was more than just one episode, especially at the end of this episode 2, when Jean Grey comes through the door and we think Jean Grey just had a baby. So what the fuck just happened? Like they just left at a super cliffhanger, and we gotta wait until next week. But I really enjoyed it, man. The hype was real. I didn't really get to catch up from watching all the older ones from the early 90s, but you jump right in. You can enjoy it still. Again, I do like the the implementation, excuse me, of Bishop and Morph a little different. Jubilee coming back, I like that a lot. Gambit, Rogue's romance with Magneto, though. What's that gonna be about? What's that gonna be about? You feel me? So that's gonna be interesting as well. So I'm excited to see what's gonna happen. Again, it's on Disney Plus. I think it comes out every Wednesday. I think it said it came out 2 days of the week, like they did with I forgot what show it was, but I think it may come out 2 days a week. I could be wrong, but Wednesdays for sure it does come out. And then lastly, one show I am watching on Netflix, it is Physical 100 Season 2. If y'all saw Season 1, I talked about that on the pod a little bit ago. Season 1, a bunch of people in South Korea, all over the world, all over the nation doing all kind of crazy shit. People that do like, nation competing in the national team for like judo, wrestling, bodybuilders. You got social media bodybuilders. You have what else they have on there? Firefighters, police officers, FBI agents, all kind of different people from Korea that all compete in fitness challenges. So there's 100 of them to start, and they all get in the room and walk in. It's a bunch of buff, fit people, and they all judging each other. And then after they all get introduced to each other, they start competing in physical challenges and see who is the strongest out of them all. And the strongest person, the last person to win, wins money. The first challenge, it was crazy. They had to run on the treadmill for 10 minutes straight on one of those manual ones too. So you couldn't it wasn't going by itself. And then after that, whoever, the bot, there was 100 people. They eliminated 50 off the bat. And then the people that made it past the first round had to do another 7 minutes. And then they eliminated another half of those people. And then that last people had to do like another 4 minutes. And then the best time of the people that are left that complete the time wins the challenge. It was some crazy shit. And then based on that, those people, the top 10 out of everybody that competed were able to pick teams. It was just wild. It was a bunch of shit. They do a death match where they go into 3 arenas and try to grab a ball from each other, have people fight each other. It's just crazy to see somebody that's a Taekwondo master go against somebody that's a UFC fighter, and then they just go at it and try to fight for a ball. The translation is pretty bad from Korean to English. You're gonna hear a bunch of corny sayings that the Korean people probably didn't say, but it is very interesting. Very cool to see. I know they probably couldn't do this in America because people probably be fighting each other left and right because you know how we act in America. But everybody in Korea is super respectful to each other, just like admire each other, and are able to be competitive in a very respectful way. I know in America it would not be like that. You know what I'm saying? People can lose and be hella gracious about losing and just walk off. Again, people in America wouldn't be able to do it. But check it out. It's on Netflix now. Season 1 is really cool too. It sets the groundwork for season 2. But check it out. Again, if you watch anime or you're used to like dubs and shit like that, you'll be fine. And if you like subtitles too, you can just watch this, have the subtitles, have them actually speak Korean, and it'll be fine as well. Either way, it's pretty dope. But yeah, what else am I watching? I'm just gonna go through some shows that I'm watching. Tokyo Vice, check that out. Shogun, of course, check that on FX. Tokyo Vice is on Max. Go put in your prize picks, man. Try to win some money. Actually, man, I'm hoping I win some money after I just finish watching this Nuggets game here. What else am I watching? I'm starting to watch that new Roadhouse. I haven't finished it yet. Maybe after I finish watching that, I can give you guys a review on that. Talk some shit about it. It's kind of corny. Conor McGregor and what's his name? Jake Gyllenhaal doing their thing. But yeah, man, I guess that's the end of the podcast, man. Again, coming soon, coming real soon. I'm having everybody on the pod. We're doing the bachelor party reunion podcast, I should say. We're definitely doing that tournament still. AKA got our new schedule that's pretty crazy, so it may be hard for us to do it. But I'm gonna try to squeeze it in, try to get us in there. Pause. I'm gonna try to get us in there to do it somehow. But we gonna get in there. But if you're looking for the podcast, if you're looking where to find me at, you know where to find me. It's SAC_Lydell on the Instagram, Patrick_Lydell on the Snapchat. If you're looking for the podcast, Best of Bias. I'm on TikTok as the Best of Bias. Twitch again. Don't forget Twitch. Lydell_22. Watch me play some Call of Duty with the boys. I'm on there pretty often, running some Warzone. I'm gonna try to get into more games soon too. I'm gonna get Tekken. Try to run with Deshaun. Try to do some shit. You know what I'm saying? Get more in the gaming tip. I got a camera. You can check me out. I got the vibes going. Everything will be kind of raw. I need to set up my page a little bit more, but it'll be cool. If you look for the podcast, you can find the podcast on YouTube, of course. The website, not really. I don't think you want to mess with that right now. But just hit me up on Instagram. Hit me up on the YouTube, same namesake, Best of Bias Podcast. Type that in, you'll see Growly, not with that, but with the glasses face, and you'll know who it is. Click on that, and you'll hear this beautiful voice. You know what I'm saying? 201 episodes on Instagram right now, or not Instagram, on YouTube right now. 200 videos, anyways. 201 episodes out right now. Go check it all out. If you want to check out where we started, it's called The Best of Bias Podcast. You can hear episode 1 through 98, maybe. And then episodes 99 through 201 are all under The Best of Bias Podcast. They're both me. It's just that we ran into a little snafu somewhere around episode 100, and we had a little transition. Some people left the pod, new podcast, new stuff came along, yada, yada, yada. Anyways, it all came out to us being here now, where it's your boy, Lydell Dinero. Again, merch, we got all that stuff left. I'm about to start a new merch project so we can get some new merch out for you. Still got bucket hats, dad hats, beanies, and bucket hats, all available. One t-shirt left, I think. Actually, no, I don't have any t-shirts left, but we'll be making some really soon, looking at materials and stuff right now. I'm a little settled and done with my vacation, so I'm going to get right back into the merchandise to have y'all out there looking fly, representing the gang, because I know a lot of y'all already have some stuff, so don't be afraid to throw a hat on, throw a shirt on, throw something on to represent the pod. Chelsea, I need you to come up with those stickers. I have Chelsea on here soon, too. New challenge starting real soon. I think the challenge starts next month sometime, so a couple of weeks, a new challenge with the actual vets on, so I have so much more to talk about. Ashwash get V-rounds on after she feels a little better. But yeah, man, let me not hold y'all too long. It's Friday. Thank you guys for being here. I said you can click on any podcast in the world, but I'm thanking y'all for being here with me today. And you're part of the family now. And I thank you for listening to the pod and clicking it and being here on a Friday. Yeah, I don't know. But thank y'all. It's the Best of Bias Podcast where that theme song at. We'll be back next Friday for some more lovely goodness. But yeah, where that theme song at, bro? Thank you, AKA, for everything. Always. Yeah. It's the best of bias. You need the earful. You should try us. From pop culture to the movies to Unitas. It's the best of bias. Your best of bias. Yeah.